Almira's Pove Ev. I stand on the deck of the luxurious cruise ship, watching the frenzied celebration of the wolf packs. The void inside me grows deeper. This is the annual hunt festival for all werewolves, like a year-end celebration. This year it's hosted by the strongest pack in North America. They didn't just splurge on drinks, they gathered wolves from all over, boosting our chances of finding mates. I came here just to celebrate. I'd already chosen my mate. But that became history 10 minutes ago. My good-for-nothing mate betrayed me, grinning as he claimed he'd slipped, and accidentally ended up inside a female wolf. That's as ridiculous as it sounds. Because I'm an Omega, he figured I was a fool he could toy with. Like I'm nothing without him. Of course I had to prove him wrong. So I slapped him and rejected him. I bet he didn't see that coming. As proud as I am of what I did, I can't pretend I'm okay. I want to get the hell out of here fast, but the ship won't dock until 8 a.m. tomorrow. That sucks. Because this lively crowd is just a spotlight on my misery. I head straight for the ship's bar, intent on drowning in alcohol. A margarita for the lady, the bartender asks. I glare at him, heat in my eyes. I need an entire bottle, your strongest, I don't care what it is. He glances at my face and pivots quickly. A bottle of whiskey. We have excellent single malts. I nod. Whatever you have. Remember, the strongest. That cheating bastard thinks I'll ruin my night crying over his little affair. No, not a chance. I'm going to show him what it's like to get cheated on by some random stranger. I take a pained sip of whiskey. The liquid slices my throat like tiny knives and I choke. How did it come to this? 3 years of commitment. Wasn't I pretty enough? Smart enough? What was my boyfriend still desperately looking for in other women that I lack? Suddenly, an overwhelming presence rolls in from behind me. A dominant alpha scent slips into my lungs, and the butterflies in my stomach go wild. I turn, and my core skips a beat. He's tall, with sharp blue eyes that seem to see right through me. I can't stop staring. There are only a few men I find attractive, and I remember them when I do. This man looks vaguely familiar. A strange, irresistible pull tugs me toward him. No wonder I can't look away. He approaches like a bee drawn to its flower. Rough night, he asks with a confident smile. He's handsome. I'll admit it. But I'm not dizzy enough to hook up with a random man. I know exactly what he's trying to do, and I'm not going to fall for it. Just because my ex cheated on me doesn't mean I need to go through some hoe phase. I'm fine, I say shortly, turning back to my drink. He notes my empty glass and smiles, his voice velvety and too smooth. Really, because drinking whiskey alone at a party like this doesn't scream fine. He slides onto the stool beside me. Maybe I just like whiskey. I shoot back. His lips tilt into an easy smile. Fair enough. But I'm guessing it's not about the drink. Let me guess. Little boyfriend cheated on you. I glare at him, but he doesn't flinch. If I say yes, will you leave me alone? Not a chance, he says, leaning on the bar. I'm sure you know that after another whiskey, every asshole eyeing you will try to pick you up, especially with you looking like that. His gaze dips over my dress, then returns. Those blue irises rake over me, lighting every switch in my body like a torch. I wouldn't want to lose my place in that line, now would I? I squeeze my thighs together, ready to leave, but he shifts closer, subtly blocking my path. But hey, if you want a quick, dirty revenge fling, then drink up, he says, grinning. My eyes widen. Revenge fling. Is he suggesting I sleep with him? I mentally roll my eyes. Why is he sticking his nose into my business anyway? He acts like he cares. How is he any different from that womanizing bastard, Liam, who randomly hooked up with a gamma chick at the party? He's probably another asshole looking for a girl to use. And it seems like I'm his prey for the night. I narrow my eyes and stare him down. First of all, I thought I was already in a bad mood, but you're just adding insult to injury. Secondly, no matter how much I drink or how many men want to hit on me, I'm not the kind of girl who goes for a quick, dirty revenge fling like what you're suggesting. He chuckles, low, annoyingly sexy. He sips his own drink. clearly amused with me. You may not be, he goes on shameless, but it would do you better than getting drunk on whiskey. He's not going to stop until he gets what he wants from me, huh? Why you think? It'll make me feel better about walking the path of shame tomorrow. What's shameful about it? Sex is meant for feeling good in the moment, using physical intimacy as a distraction from your problems. It doesn't need a profound, meaningful connection. You feel bad. It feels good. Why not? I purse my lips. Ugh. I hate that he has a point. I look away, then seconds later glance back, biting my lower lip. You're considering it, aren't you? He chuckles softly. I shake the thoughts out of my head. Am I actually considering sleeping with a stranger tonight? This must be the whiskey messing with my mind. So why am I tempted? With him? I don't know what you're talking about, I reply firm. I really should leave. His scent is like an aphrodisiac, pulling me in. I stare at his chiseled jaw, the bob of his Adam's apple, his broad chest. Those large hands that could probably rip my panties off with ease. God, what am I thinking? Have I really become a slut? I push away from the bar to go, but his large hand wraps around my wrist, and electric current surges through me, stealing my breath. What is happening? I look at him in shock. As an omega without a wolf, I can't recognize my mate. But this feeling, Liam never gave me this. He leans in, voice low and threaded with want. Want to go somewhere more private. I should walk away. She'll say something sharp and end it. But my body has a mind of its own. My heart hammers, my hands unsteady, and something deep inside me pulls toward him before I can stop it. Before I know it, I nod. He smirks. In that moment, I'm powerless to a pull. I can't fight moth to flame. Drawn straight into the fire. Almira's P. Av. Ring, ring, ring. I woke to my alarm, shrieking in my ear. I groaned, fumbling across the sheets with my eyes still closed. One of those mornings when getting out of bed feels impossible. The sheets were so cozy, and these arms around me were so warm. Wait, arms? Around me? My eyes flew open as a chill swept through me. Every hair on my body stood on end. I lifted my head careful, not to wake whoever was holding me, and felt the blood drain from my face. What have I done? I whispered. I froze, realizing we were both naked under unfamiliar sheets in an unfamiliar room. Memory crashed back the moment I saw his face. That gorgeous face. The same man who kept handing me drinks last night. Oh God, I don't even want to remember how I ended up falling asleep in his arms. He murmured, rolling to the other side. I slipped out of bed, heart racing, and scrambled for my clothes scattered on the floor. This cannot be happening. I wasn't serious when I said I'd cheat, just because my boyfriend did last night. That was the whiskey talking. I paused when I spotted a wallet sticking out from the pile of clothes. I glanced at him, still asleep, then slid it free to check his name. A stack of cash, black cards, and then the name stamped on one of them. Lysander Hitwell. You have got to be kidding me. I'd hooked up with the billionaire alpha of the Shadow Weavers pack, the very pack hosting the hunting festival. Shit. No wonder his face looked familiar. He's the CEO of MW Group, the most powerful company in the human world. Their logo is everywhere, on buildings, on products. I think it was even on the bottle of whiskey I chugged last night. How did I not recognize him? His face is on half the billboards in the city. I'm so dead, so fucking. My stomach lurched. Perfect. A hangover as the cherry on top. I clamped a hand over my mouth and yanked on my clothes as quietly as I could. The absolute last thing I wanted was for him to wake and see me. I need to get out, now. Before anyone finds me, I hurried for the door, then froze at the full-length mirror on the wall. My mouth fell open. My natural brown hair had turned blonde, threaded with silver. A strange, ethereal glow flickered over my skin. They're then gone. Holy fuck. What happened to me? A week later, I moved quickly, staying alert as I made my way to HR. I was here to collect my last paycheck. I'd finally decided to resign. I hadn't shown up at work since the changes started. Morning sickness had become routine, and the dreams, strange, vivid flashes of meeting someone. Or something I couldn't quite hold on to, and everyone kept staring at my hair. A few even asked which salon did it. Well, guess what? I didn't. I slept with a stranger. And this happened. Also, there's no way I'm working under my senior manager. He'd been calling all week begging to fix things. But I made it clear on day one. It's beyond repair when another woman is involved. A year of stupidity is enough. I'm not doing that to myself anymore. I turned the corner and stopped. A tall, dark figure blocked the corridor. Liam, so you think you can just walk away? After what you did? After you humiliated me in front of everyone? I swallowed, pulse kicking up. The fire in his eyes said he'd chosen this empty corridor for payback. Liam never let things go. And nothing enraged him more than public humiliation. I knew that too well. The HR officer sent this to me this morning, he scoffed, waving a paper. My resignation. You really think I'll let you go that easily? He tore it to shreds, bits of paper snowing to the floor. He stepped on them as he closed in. Is that why you haven't been answering my calls? You were planning to leave me all this time? I curled my hands into fists. Why wouldn't I? I'm not your girlfriend anymore. I can resign whenever Pain shot up my arm as he seized it, squeezing hard. You're not fucking breaking up with me, he shouted. I wanted to scream for help, but this section of the mall was deserted. My instincts yelled, kick him where it hurts, but he trapped my legs before I could move. An omega like me couldn't overpower a beta male like him. He could crush me with one hand if he wanted. Let go of me, I screamed, voice echoing. Help. Somebody, my cry cut off as Liam mashed his mouth against mine, rough and possessive. With everything I had left, I shoved him. Hard he stumbled back. Before he could recover, my palm cracked across his cheek. Smack. Fucking bitch. Don't you ever touch me again. You disgust me. He smirked. Oh, I thought you liked it when I kissed you, huh? What changed? Some other guy is fucking you now. Yes. His smirk died. What did you say? I gave him a sharp, sweet smile. He thought he was the only one who could brag about cheating. You heard me, I said, watching his brows draw tight. The night I disappeared, I was with another man in the presidential suite. What? Surprised. Think I can't do what you did. Think I can't fucking cheat. His face darkened. Come on, Almira. You're not that noble. You're just as low as I am. You boarded that cruise to snag a rich guy, and you're mad I beat you to it. You bastard. How dare you insult my feelings like that? I reached to strike him, but he caught my wrist. He shoved me back, then lifted his hand to slap me. I shut my eyes, bracing. A deep voice cut the air behind me, low and familiar, stopping him cold. What do you think you're doing? Lysander's point of view. After that night on the cruise. No records? Are you fucking kidding me? She managed to get into my party, and you're telling me you don't know how she did it. Beta Mid hung his head, admitting his incompetence over a simple disappearance. Frustration snapped through me. I hurled the champagne flute against the brick wall. Shards skittered across the floor. The woman who'd spent the night with me had vanished. Like smoke. First time that's ever happened. Usually the she-wolves stayed, begging for favors, for status. But her. She slipped away while I slept. What burned worse was the pull she had on me. Her kiss, her touch. It felt like my soul had finally locked into place after she pulled me under. Mate. That was the only explanation. She was my mate, thou. I didn't dare say it out loud. From 18 to now, 12 years. I'd been disappointed too many times. And her rank, Omega. Could it really be true? Me, strongest alpha of the largest pack in North America. And my mate might be an Omega. And she had the audacity to reject me. Find her, I said, rising. Unless you're telling me you want to give up your position. Fear flared in his eyes. He bowed and hurried out. I stared at my hands, at the ghost of her touch lingering on my skin. I would find her, whether she wanted it or not. I'd make that Omega beg for forgiveness, for daring to reject an alpha like me. Present day, anger burned through me like wildfire. My fists stayed clenched. Beta mid trembled as he reported. They'd found nothing. A week gone, no trace of that Omega. For a beat, I wondered if I'd imagined her. A fever dream. But then there were the memories. Too vivid to be false. You should forget about that woman and move on, Lysander. On the highway, I shot a look at Damon, my best friend, alpha of the second largest pack in North America. We were in the human world running businesses together. If he weren't my best friend, I'd have torn him apart and fed him to the sharks in the Pacific. I heard she's just an Omega. I don't get why you're obsessed, he said, sipping champagne like an idiot. Plenty of hotter she-wolves out there, why settle for a one-night stand? He took another sip, riding right over my rising fury, as if my rage didn't matter. Maybe I needed to remind him. Pack hierarchy still existed. Pull over. He flicked me a confused glance. Beta mid didn't wait. He eased the car onto the shoulder. Get out. Damon paled. Oh, come on, man. Don't make me walk to MW Mall. I'm sorry, okay? I was just joking. I turned to him, face blank. He swallowed hard. Damon, aren't you the fastest in your pack? Show me. Beat this luxury car to the mall. What, dude? Are you serious? I can't just shift into a wolf in the human world. I looked away, bored. Not my problem. Get out. He hesitated, scratched the back of his head, then climbed out. In the rear view, I watched him start a jog down the highway. That idiot better not flag a cab. Are we really leaving him on the highway, Alpha? Beta mid asked, nervous. He probably thought I was messing with my friend again. Truth was, I was furious. I didn't even know why I was overreacting. Because he mocked her. Or because part of what he said cut close to the bone. Do you want to join him for a jog? He cleared his throat. No, Alpha. I scoffed and looked away. The mall wasn't far. I had a meeting about the expansion. I could have left it to Damon, but he was busy running to MW Mall, so it fell to me. At arrival, the director greeted me at once and led me toward the conference room. Welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you here. He extended a hand. I didn't take it. I didn't like being touched. He retracted his hand, awkward. This way, please. The conference room is ready. We can start as soon as you arrive. I gestured for him to lead, but a familiar tingle swept through me, stopping me cold. The same feeling as that night. Stronger. Poison I couldn't ignore. It was driving me insane. Mate, my wolf, howled in my head. Mate, my wolf and my instincts were in sync. The Omega from that night. Our mate. Boss, is something wrong? The director asked, careful. I ignored him. Every cell in me screamed, find her. Boss. He tried again, reaching. Move. I growled. My vision edged crimson. He blanched and crumpled back in fear. I couldn't shift. Damn it. I ran, following the scent. It got stronger until I halted outside the HR office. Raised voices. One male, one female. The door sat ajar. And there she was. The woman I'd been hunting all week. She was arguing with a man I'd never seen. A few words, and I knew who he was. Her cheating ex. Come on, Almira. You're not that noble, he sneered. You're as low as I am. You got on that cruise to hook a rich guy, and you're mad I beat you to it. Number that didn't make sense. She'd left first. She hadn't begged for more. You bastard. How dare you insult my feelings, Almira roared, reaching for him. He caught her wrist, fury flashing as he drew back to retaliate. Mate. We protect our mate, my wolf snarled. I burst through the door and slammed him into the wall. He cried out, What do you think you're doing? I stepped from the shadows. Both of them stared. He let his hand drop at once. She looked at me, surprise, relief, mouth parted, eyes bright. She knew me. I saw it in the way she swallowed. The flicker in her gaze, the soft hitch of breath. Don't think about it. Don't steal her away and pin her to the nearest bed just to punish her for leaving. Not yet. I needed to hear her speak. A alpha Lysander, the man stammered, scrambling upright. I mean, a CEO Lysander. In the human world, we used human titles. I didn't spare him a glance. I looked at her wide-eyed as if I were a ghost. CEO Lysander? She whispered, disbelief shading into anger. You have no right to interfere in our matters, even if you are CEO Lysander. She pushed the title at me again. Was she rejecting me? Heat surged, sharp and blinding, and Omega rejecting me. Again, still in love with her bastard ex. The thought chewed through me. I wanted to tear him apart. He seized on her words, babbling, "Sir, you see, she's just a bitch who doesn't follow rules. I'm sorry you had to witness this. She's trying to quit after multiple absences. She's clearly violated the company's ethical standards. I was just trying to teach her some professionalism." Surprise flickered across her face, then hardened to anger. Ethics. You dare talk about ethics. You're the last person who should bring up ethics. You bastard. Her fury rippled through the room. I scoffed, pretending not to know me. Afraid her ex would find out. Fine, I'd ruin the surprise. I glanced at his ID. You're the senior manager. He nodded, nervous. Fire her. He gaped. What for? I looked at the Omega, equally stunned. Hurt flickered in her eyes. Confusion. I was too furious to care. We don't need her in our company, I said, voice like ice. This mall isn't a place for whores who use their bodies for revenge. Double, what did you say? Her gaze snapped between me and the ex. The pain was clear, and a cold satisfaction slid through me. I'd seduced her. I wanted her again, but she'd rejected me for the love of her ex, her mate. Foolish she-wolf. She would pay for defying me. Whatever softness, I felt curdled into disgust. She let out a humorless laugh. Wow, I'm really surprised, she mocked, disappointment stinging sharper than her anger. Now you call me a whore, as if revenge sex wasn't your idea. Her ex stared, uncomprehending. If he didn't get it by now, he really was an idiot. Yeah, I was the one who slept with your girl. I glared at her. So we were supposed to forget that night. Pretend the bond wasn't there. Didn't she feel it? Even insects have feelings? Are you really that heartless? I muttered, cutting at her denial. I shouldn't be surprised, right? After all, you're just a whore unworthy of me. I looked at her face torn between wanting to pull her close and wanting to crush her. I was Lysander Hitwell Pack leader, billionaire. Amir Omega shouldn't make me feel this way. She took a step back. Her composure slammed into place. She forced a smile. I'm glad I only tried to reject you, she said, voice steady with rage. If I had the chance again, I'd still reject you, you arrogant, horny bastard. She spat the words and stormed out of the mall. My fists clenched. I'd make sure she couldn't find a single company in New York willing to hire her. 1 month later, I should have known better. The discrimination against Omegas in the packs. Alphas still let it happen. We've lived among humans for so long, and nothing's changed. When I woke up in Alpha Lysander's bed after our one-night stand, I panicked. I ran. I was scared. My ex Liam was just a beta from a small pack, and even he treated me like I wasn't worth loving. So how could the alpha of the most powerful pack in North America ever accept me as his Luna? It was just a one-night stand. Payback for Liam's cheating. That's all it was. I didn't expect more. I thought he felt the same. I thought my rejection would show him my pride, that I wasn't the kind of woman who used her body to get special treatment. I refused his help. I told myself I could handle everything on my own. Then he insulted me and fired me, like he regretted all of it. It hurt worse than Liam's betrayal, and I couldn't even explain why. I still didn't have a wolf, so I couldn't tell if this was a mate's pull. It couldn't be. My mind refused to accept it. an alpha as my mate. The only ending I could see was him rejecting me. Again, I wasn't going to be made a fool of in front of everyone at the mall. Well, he proved me right. I was glad I ran and refused his help. He was just a selfish, arrogant alpha bastard. Quitting that damn job was what I wanted anyway. It wasn't so bad. What was worse, my parents suddenly disappeared. Luckily, they left me some money. Beep, beep, beep. I bit my lower lip and tapped my fingers on the table. I'd lost count of how many times I'd called, and no one answered. A few days ago, I went to their house empty. No note, no warning. That wasn't like them. The headaches and nausea had been going on for a month. I thought they'd pass. They didn't. They got worse. The number you have dialed is unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone. Shit. Mom, where are you? Why aren't you answering? Dad's phone is dead, and I can't reach you. If you were going to abandon me, you should have done it when I was 12. Yeah. I knew I sounded like a spoiled brat. That's how I usually talk to them. They never took offense. Honestly, I was the one offended. They left their only daughter without a word. A secret family vacation. The Maldives. They could have just said they wanted time alone. Why make me worry like this? I hung up, helpless. Since that humiliating scene at the mall, I hadn't left the house. I didn't want to bump into coworkers and get grilled about having a one-night stand with the CEO of my company. And my body felt off. It wasn't just my hair color changing. My senses were sharper, sure, classic wolf stuff. But this felt different. I'd been an Omega forever, and I had never smelled the corn cooking at my neighbor's place across the street. Speaking of corn, I'd started craving things I'd never liked before. Like right now, I wanted corn, but it had to be pink with green. I should get this checked out. Right. Buzz. Buzz. My phone vibrated. I snatched it up. We're on a business trip. I'll call you as soon as we're done here. Okay. A business trip. Since. When were they entrepreneurs? I shrugged. Whatever. Looked like I had to face this on my own. The nausea and the weird cravings were exactly what I thought they were. I'd better see my doctor friend. Miss Harper, the nurse called at reception. I stood and raised a hand. Dr. Perez can see you now. I followed her into his office. Richie was flipping through files. I waited for the nurse to leave, then cleared my throat. He looked up and smiled. Mila? I rolled my eyes. He was the only one who called me that. God, I missed it. What brings you here? He gestured to the chair. I sat. I don't know pizza. I deadpanned. He laughed. You've come to the right place. This Obgyn knows how to knead the dough. He winked. Shut up, you're disgusting. Ha ha ha. I laughed with him. Even in a white coat, he was still a damn pervert. Seriously, he said, sobering. Everything okay? I met his eyes. I think I might be pregnant. The joy dropped off his face. He went quiet for a few beats. Did I hear that right? I nodded. Does your boyfriend know? I sighed, not eager to explain my love life, or lack of one. We'd both been busy for years and drifted. Just do your job for now, doctor. Sorry, he said softly, pulling a form closer. He asked about the nausea, the cravings, the timing. The more I answered, the more certain I felt. It's a bit early to confirm by ultrasound. For now, use this. He handed me a small box. Do you know how to use it? I rolled my eyes. I'm not stupid, Richie, he chuckled. Restrooms down the hall, results in 3 to 10 minutes. Holler if you need anything. My hands shook as I went to the restroom. I collected the sample, dropped it into the test kit, and waited. It didn't take 5 minutes. 2 clear lines. It's positive, I whispered, staring at the stick. I was so screwed. Back in his office, I handed Richie the result. He looked at my face and his expression softened. You didn't expect this, he said gently. Number I didn't. I buried my face in my hands. What do I do, Richie? I can't be pregnant. This wasn't planned. I'm not ready for this kind of responsibility. He took my hand. Okay. First, we'll confirm with a blood test. Beyond that, have you talked to the father? Insightful. Number I haven't even figured it out myself. The father should know, Mala. You can't do this alone. You need support, comfort. We're talking about a life inside you. I know. But we're not together. How was I supposed to tell the most influential alpha in the werewolf world that I was carrying his child? I couldn't even picture facing him again, after everything we said last time. I don't want this, Richie. So, do you want to get an abortion? No. I flinched at the word, then saw his steady look and exhaled. I mean, I don't know. He might not even remember me. Can you contact him? I nodded, reluctant. Then tell him, he said, firm and calm. He has the right to know he's the one who got you pregnant. One night or not, he's the father of the life inside you. He deserves to know, Mila. I covered my face. I didn't remember telling him it was a one-night stand. Maybe I didn't have to. Richie always read me like a book, but maybe he was right. I should tell Lysander Hitwell about our child. Almira's Pew Ave F. I'm perched on the edge of my bed, laptop balanced on my knees, just staring at the screen. Lysander Hitwell. Maybe it's just me, but that name sounds stupidly sexy. Like him. His name alone sends a chill down my spine, and not in a good way. Well, maybe a little in a good way. I don't know. My emotions are all over the place. I've been staring so long. I could probably qualify as unhinged. The photos on the company site do not help. He looks like he walked out of a magazine. Broad shoulders, sharp jawline, dark hair always perfectly styled. And those eyes. I can't look at them too long without feeling like I'm shrinking into myself. How did this happen? Of all people, why him? Why the guy so far out of my league? It's laughable. Yesterday, I found out I was pregnant. Today, I'm back home, stuffing my face with gummy worms I found hidden in the kitchen cabinets. I think they're my dad's. He hides the good stuff from me. I scroll, cheeks full of sugar. There it is. His contact information. His office address. My heart pounds as I stare at it. Rich's best advice was to look him up online. Poor guy still has no idea who got me pregnant, but he's been supportive. I'll tell him the truth when things calm down. Right now, I'm just confused about what to do next. I shouldn't have left that morning without saying anything. But what was I supposed to do? Shake him awake and say, "Hey, great night. By the way, I'm just a random Omega who makes minimum wage and has zero plans for the future. Bye." Yeah, no. I snap the laptop shut and toss it onto the bed. This is ridiculous. What am I even thinking? I mutter, dragging a hand through my hair. I can't just show up at his office and tell him I'm pregnant. He'd probably laugh in my face. Or worse, call security to escort me out. I still remember how he sided with my ex when he found us arguing. He even fired me. But then, that nagging voice won't shut up. He deserves to know his baby. Rich really knows how to get stuck in your head like fucking gum under a table. God, I wish I could sleep and forget that Lysander Hitwell got me pregnant. I groan, flopping back onto the mattress. Why does it even matter? It's not like he'd care. What if he really doesn't? Do I just walk out and try to be cool about it? Oh, okay. You don't want your baby? No problem. Humiliation prickles under my skin. This is what I get for asking for a bottle of whiskey instead of a margarita. I should have listened to that freaking waiter the first time. As much as I hate the idea of seeing the man I badmouthed again, I can't shake the feeling that it's the right thing to do. Lysander deserves to know. Whether or not he cares about me, he has a right to decide if he wants to be in this baby's life. I can't make that decision for him. Besides, a little parental help would be nice. I'm his broke baby mama with no job. My stomach churns. What if he hates me? I whisper to the ceiling, like it might answer. The thought stings more than I expect. It's not like I have any delusions about us being some fairy tale couple. That night happened because we were both under the control of alcohol. It's not like he fell in love with me. I probably sound like a lunatic pessimist, but I'm being realistic. I know what I am. A broke Omega with nothing to offer. But still, I sit up and grab the laptop again, opening it with shaky hands. His address stares back at me. Okay, Elmira, you can do this, I whisper. I pop the last gummy worm into my mouth, grab my coat, and sling my bag over my shoulder. I head for the door with a riot of emotions in my chest. Part of me says this is a terrible idea. The other says it's the right one. Whatever. Let's just do it. All right, Hitwell, I mutter under my breath. Let's see how this goes. I just hope I don't regret it. I step onto the sidewalk and nearly choke on my own awe. You call this a building. This is more like a skyscraper, I blurt. A couple of people look at me, who cares? I'm too busy staring. I've never stood in front of something this massive, and I never thought I'd feel this small. In a good way, I stand there for a long moment, craning my neck like it's my first time in the city. The silver exterior gleams in the sunbright but not blinding, and the slick architecture makes it look like it belongs in some futuristic skyline. This is owned by Lysander Hitwell. My heart hammers harder. One more luxurious thing, and I might pass out right here at the MW Group entrance. People flow in and out of the revolving doors like clockwork men and women in tailored suits, polished shoes clicking against the marble. They look so important, so professional. Definitely not like where I grew up, where 2-inch heels and a pencil skirt counted as corporate. I clutch my bag tighter and take a shaky breath. Inside are all the proof and documents I need. You can do this, Mira, I whisper. Even I don't sound convinced. I swallow my nerves and step through the doors. I don't even last 5 seconds before I feel out of place. The lobby is grand high ceilings, marble floors, a chandelier sparkling above. I feel eyes on me. Or maybe it's just in my head. Or maybe it's because I look like I wandered in off the street looking for a place to piss. I'm too hard on myself. Probably. I head to the security guard near the entrance. Excuse me, I say barely above a whisper. Where can I find Lysander Hitwell? He raises an eyebrow. His gaze drags from my scuffed sneakers to my plain jacket. The judgment is obvious without a word. You're looking for the CEO, he asks, like he can't quite believe it. I clear my throat. Yes, I say, aiming for confident. My voice cracks anyway. He huffs, amused, and gestures toward the reception desk. Talk to them. They'll let you know if you can get an appointment. Thank you, I manage, cheeks burning. I turn toward the desk, then stop. Above us, a massive screen dominates the lobby. It's broadcasting some important announcement, big, glossy, celebratory. And there, on the screen, is Lysander's face. I freeze. The image fades to him standing beside a woman. She's stunning, long brunette hair, striking features, the kind of face you see on billboards. I think I saw hers on the drive here, a famous model. Below, the announcement reads, "Congratulations to Lysander Hitwell of the Shadow Weavers Pack and Rochelle Lionheart of the Black Fangs Pack, the future alpha couple destined to rule the werewolf world." The blood drains from my face. I can't breathe. Am I reading this right? He's getting married. Almira's Pav. How could this happen? I just saw him last week, and now he's getting married. He acts like nothing ever happened between us, like we didn't share that night, or was it just one of hundreds he spent with some other woman? Nothing special, just lust, just sex. Ma'am? The receptionist calls, snapping me out of it. I ignore her and take a shaky step back, my gaze glued to the screen. Rachel Black, of course. She's famous, beautiful, poised, a beta from one of the most powerful alphas in the region. Everything I'm not. I'm just a lowlife omega. He conveniently found attractive when the alcohol had him horny. I feel sick. So this is what he thinks of me. A meaningless fling. Someone so insignificant he could forget me and move on in the blink of an eye. I turn and walk out of the building without another word. My steps are quick and uneven, my heart pounding. but I keep going farther. Farther. Just get away. I clutch my bag. Like it's the only thing holding me together. I pause and glance back at the entrance one last time. Tears spill, hot and uncontrollable. I swipe at them with my sleeve. I swear to the moon goddess. I whisper. Lysander Hitwell will never know about this baby. And if he tries to enter our lives, I'll kill him. Jaw clenched. I turn my back and head for the road. I step off the curb without thinking, drifting into traffic. Beep, beep, beep. A yellow taxi screeches to a stop. Horns blast around me. I flinch, breath hitching, and when the cab pulls up, I throw myself into the back seat and slam the door. Where to? The driver asks. I rattle off my address. We merge into traffic, and the weight of everything crashes over me. I try to hold it in, but tears spill anyway. Quiet sobs shake my chest. I scrub my face with the back of my hand. Crying in a public car. God, not now. I feel the driver's eyes flick up to the rear view. You okay back there? He asks. Awkward but kind. I wipe my cheeks and sit up straighter. I'm fine, I mutter. I turn to the window, watching the city smear by. He doesn't say anything else, but I can feel his gaze flicker to the mirror now and then. It makes me want to disappear. I can't stop crying. Maybe it's the baby, but isn't it too early for that? I press my forehead to the window, the glass cool against my skin, and try to breathe past the tightness in my chest. By the time we reach my street, I've managed to stop, mostly. The ache is still there, sharp and stubborn. Well, nothing a slap of truth can't fix, right? I hand the driver a crumpled bill, mumble a thank you, and slip out before he can ask again. His engine fades. Silence rushes in. I'm halfway up the path when my stomach drops. A sleek black car sits outside my house, and the gate is wide open. That's not my parents' car. We can't even afford an electric bike. My pulse spikes. Did I forget to lock the door when I left? But that car, it's too expensive for a thief. Even our house would be embarrassed standing next to it. I hurry up the driveway, heart hammering. 100 thoughts crash through my head. A thief, the landlord. Are we getting evicted? This is the worst day of my fucking life. I lift my feet, like stepping on eggshells, trying not to make a sound. I push the door open, slowly. My stomach lurches. An older man sits on our worn-out sofa, back straight, hands resting on the head of a polished cane. Power rolls off him, silver hair, sharp suit, like he stepped out of a mafia film and into my living room. Who the hell is he? Definitely not a thief. I take a step back. 2 large men appear behind me, blocking the doorway. I swallow hard. What is this? I stammer. Who are you? How did you get in here? The old man rises. I flinch. Almira, isn't it? He asks. My throat works. Who are you? I blurt, trying to sound brave even as my hands shake. He smiles, polite cold. I'm Reginald Hitwell, Lysander's grandfather. Grandfather? Of who? Reginald Hitwell? How could I not recognize that face? Ex-chairman of MW Group, before Lysander took the CEO seat. This can't be real. My breath catches in my throat. He's here in my house. What else could it be? Other than the fact that his grandson and I did something we shouldn't have that night on the cruise ship. Does he know? He tilts his head, studying me like I'm a puzzle he plans to solve. I've been looking forward to meeting you, Almira. He knows my name. Of course he does. He even knows where I live. I'm in so much trouble. My knees threaten to give. I've never met anyone this intimidating. One look tells me he doesn't like me. Then why? What brought him here? How do you know my name? I ask, trying to play dumb. He steps closer, and I back away, right into the men behind me. I glance at them, then face the old man again. I'm trapped. No way out. I know everything about you, my dear, he says, his lip curling. And I'm sure you know why I'm here. I can barely breathe. All I can think is, I should never have walked into this trap. The best thing to do when you see an unfamiliar car outside your house is to run the fuck away. Why did I come here alone? What did I think would happen? Alpha Reginald steps closer, and I panic. There's something in his eyes that chills me to the bone. My breath comes fast and shallow. The two men behind me are solid walls, blocking every exit. What do you want? I manage. I try to sound tough, but my voice trembles. You can't just come into my house and, before I can finish, one of his men snatches my bag and hands it to him. Hey, that's mine. I lunge for it. Hands catch my arms and hold me back. Fear hacks through my system. They're not here to talk. They're here to harass me. Alpha Reginald doesn't flinch, even with my glare like laser beams on him. He calmly turns my bag upside down, spilling everything across the floor. My wallet, keys, a half-eaten granola bar, and my heart sinks as folded papers slip free. The clinic forms, the confirmation. He notices immediately. A cruel smile creeps across his face as he picks them up. He watches me while he unfolds them. Slow, deliberate. Ah, he says, voice dripping mockery. So it's true. I freeze. My mind scrambles for something, anything to say. I can't tell him the truth. He can't know I'm carrying his grandson's baby. That's not. Don't bother lying to me, he cuts in, tone sharp. I knew before I came here, I was just confirming it. It's Lysander's. My stomach twists. No, it's not. The corners of my eyes burn. Too much pressure. Too much everything. Damn pregnancy hormones. The last thing I want is to cry in front of him. But what can I do? I'm weak. He raises an eyebrow, amused. Really? He pulls a tablet from his jacket, taps a few times, then angles the screen toward me. My face floods with heat. Footage. Me and Lysander slipping into the presidential suite, kissing. Anyone would know what happened next. Cameras don't lie, he says, putting the tablet away. My head spins. There's no denying it now. How do I stand in front of someone who clearly doesn't want me anywhere near his grandson? Don't worry, Almira. The last thing I expected was for Lysander to get involved with someone like you. Someone like me. He makes me sound like trash. Is being an Omega really that low to him? I clench my fists. I wasn't going to tell him, I say, steadying my voice. He thinks I'm trying to trap his precious heir. Why would I? My hope of giving my child a father vanished the moment I saw that announcement on the screen. I'm not after anything, if that's what you're worried about. Reginald laughs. No humor, just ice. A sound that taunts without words. Oh, please. Don't insult my intelligence, girl. I've got eyes on you everywhere. You think this is the first time I've known about your little plan to worm your way into Lysander's life? He was spying on me. You went to MW building today, didn't you? Hoping to throw this little accident in his face. Pathetic. My eyes widen. I shake my head. That's not true. I didn't. You didn't, he sneers. You're still lying. You think you can climb above your rank. My lips part. That never even crossed my mind. I did plan to tell him about the baby, but not to take anything from him. I wanted to give him the chance to be a father. How can he judge so fast? Let me make one thing clear, Omega. Lysander is out of your league. Always has been, always will be. A bitter smile flickers across my lips. His words sting like a fucking lash, but I refuse to let it show. He'd love that. I don't care about that, I say. Keep your wealth and status. He's already marrying someone else. What happened between us was a mistake. I've accepted that. Alpha Reginald steps in close, shadows darkening his face. Then do the right thing, he says, low and dangerous. I frown. What do you mean? Get rid of it. The words slap me. What? I whisper. You heard me. He wants me to get rid of my child. Is he out of his mind? This is a life, and he wants me to toss it aside like an object. Abort the child. It's nothing personal, of course. I'm protecting the Hitwell bloodline. We can't have it tainted by. Well, his eyes flicked over me with disdain. Someone like you. I stared at him, horrified. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm very serious, he replied smoothly. You're an Omega living in poverty. Do you really think you can raise a child on your own and don't even think about relying on Lysander? He has a future to protect, a future with Rachel. Tears pricked my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I'll raise my baby, I said firmly. I don't need anything from him or from you. Reginald smirked. How noble, but let's not kid ourselves. I know you'll use that baby as a weapon soon enough. I'm not stupid enough to let that happen. He turned toward the door, signaling to his guards. A car will fetch you tomorrow morning. You'll be taken to MW Hospital. Don't worry about the abortion cost. I'll take care of it. I stood frozen, unable to believe what I was hearing. He talked about aborting my baby, like it was the most normal thing. He paused in the doorway, glancing back at me. It's the smart thing to do, Almira. Trust me, you wouldn't want to keep that baby. He didn't have to say it outright. I heard the threat in every word. As soon as they left, I collapsed onto the floor. The tears I'd been trying to hold back streamed down my face, unstoppable. I held my stomach, feeling the faint presence of my child. My gaze fell to the scattered papers on the floor. I'm not letting them kill my child. I didn't waste a second. I crawled to my room and started packing. I needed to leave. I needed to protect my baby. 10:20. Blag, blag, blag. It was 2 a.m, and I was banging on Rich's door, praying he was home. I'd only been here twice, and always because I needed his help. Shame burned at the back of my throat, but I couldn't afford it. Not now. I needed him. The door swung open. Rich stood there, hair a mess, rubbing sleep from his eyes. He blinked, his face shifting from groggy to concerned in seconds. Mira? His voice was unsure. His gaze dropped to the bags beside me, stuffed with clothes and everything I'd need to fly to Italy. Yes, I was planning to leave this country. What's going on? Why do you have bags? Are you crying? He asked a flurry of questions, but my words wouldn't come. Not here, not until I got inside. I had to be sure I wasn't being followed. Paranoia clung to me all the way here. I knew what Alpha Reginald was capable of. His words were haunting me. My throat was tight, my chest heavy, like I was carrying the weight of the world. I could almost feel eyes on me again. Come inside, he said, stepping aside, without waiting for an answer. He must have seen how disoriented I was. Rich took my bags and carried them in, telling me to wait in the living room. He shut the door behind us. He gestured to the couch. Sit, I'll make you some tea. I sank down, clasping my hands together to stop them from shaking. Being here with him made me feel a little steadier. I glanced at the blinds, catching a sliver of the street outside. I thought I heard a car pull away just after we came in. Someone had been following me since I left my house. They were serious about forcing me to abort my baby. They were watching me. The only sound in the house was water beginning to boil in the kitchen. For some reason, it comforted me. Rich was the only person I could run to at this hour. The only friend I had. I wasn't sure if I should tell my parents yet. All I knew was I had to get out safely, with my baby. I looked up when Rich returned with a cup of tea. He set a steaming mug of chamomile in front of me and sat across from me in the armchair. Okay, he said gently, leaning forward, elbows on his knees. Talk to me. What's going on? I stared at the mug, unable to meet his eyes. Silence stretched between us, thin and fragile, before I finally found my voice. I didn't know where else to go. Tears gathered again. Almira, he said softly, you're scaring me. Just tell me. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out. He was calling me by my full name now. He was really worried. I drew a deep breath and looked him straight in the eyes. The father of my baby. My voice cracked. It's Lysander Hitwell. His eyes widened. He sat back, running a hand through his hair. Lysander Hitwell, like the Lysander Hitwell, alpha of the pack, leader of everything. I nodded. Rich's mouth parted, but no words came. He stared at me like I'd dropped a riddle in his lap. How? No, never mind. That doesn't matter right now, does he know? I shook my head quickly. No, and he can't know he's getting married rich, to Richelle Black. His expression darkened. He's getting married and you're carrying his child, he exhaled sharply. He has to know, Mira, he's the father. He has a right to know, and if he's marrying someone else. I can't, I cut in desperate. Rich, you don't understand. His grandfather Reginald came to my house tonight. Rich straightened at the name of the most influential alpha before Lysander. His eyes narrowed. Reginald Hitwell, what did he want? I clenched my hands until my knuckles ached. He knows I'm pregnant. He saw the proof, the clinic papers. He told me I need to abort the baby. Rich's jaw tightened. His hands curled into fists. He what? He told you to kill your baby, that bastard. He said they'd send a car in the morning to take me to the hospital, I added, my voice cracking. Tears streamed down my face. I wiped them away, but they kept coming. Rich, he's not giving me a choice. He said he'd take care of the bills. He even called me a stain on their bloodline. My hands shook uncontrollably again. I couldn't. Why couldn't they leave me and the baby alone? I had no plans to interfere with Lysander's marriage. If they wanted us gone, I'd go. Why did it have to come to fearing for our safety? Rich looked furious now, his face flushed. If there was one person on earth who always had my back, it was him. That arrogant, controlling piece of... He stopped himself, sucking in a breath. You're not doing it, Mira. You're not going to let them force you into this. I don't want to, I said. I want to keep my baby. But if I don't give them something, they won't stop. They'll come after me. They'll hurt me. Or worse. Rich, I don't know what to do. He leaned forward. Tell me what you need. I'll do whatever it takes. I looked at him. I need your help to fake it. The abortion. I need papers, documents, anything that will convince them I did it. Otherwise, they won't believe me. Rich stared at me for a long moment, then his jaw set. You're asking me to lie to them, to him. I know it's a lot, I said quickly. I know it's dangerous, but I don't have a choice. Please, Rich. I can't lose my baby. You're the only one I trust. He exhaled hard, dragging a hand down his face. God, Mira, this is insane. I lowered my head. I knew I was asking too much, but I had no choice. I couldn't let them kill my baby. Rich looked at me. Really looked, and his face softened. If you think this is for the best, I'll help you. Almira's Puvev. The next day, are you sure about this, Almira? Yes, I say, lips pressed tight. It was the only way. I had no other choice. He sets a mug of hot coffee down and leans back. I know they're powerful, but you didn't have to. They won't, I cut in. We did everything right. You were a big help. Thank you, Rich. He opens his mouth to reply when a loud, rapid banging rattles the door. Blag, blag, blag. My heart jumps into my throat. We don't even have to open it to know. It's Alpha Reginald and his men again. I knew they'd find us. They've been watching me. Rich and I share a glance. He sighs and stands, his body tense. Stay here. I grab his arm before he can move. It's him, I whisper. He studies me for a beat, then nods. I know. I shake my head. I'm scared. Rich laces his fingers through mine, steady and warm. It's going to be fine, trust me. The banging continues, relentless, until we can't ignore it anymore. Rich unlocks the door. Standing there, impeccable in a dark suit, is Alpha Reginald Hitwell. Two tall men in black stand behind him, just like last time. His sharp eyes cut through me. Almira, he says, voice like silk dipped in poison. His gaze slides past Rich and lands on me, frozen in the kitchen. How cozy. What are you doing here, I wonder? Running away from your responsibilities. I step forward despite the fear curling in my stomach. I'm not running. My voice comes out steadier than I expect. He smirks and steps inside without an invitation. You don't look like a woman who's taken care of her problem. His gaze sweeps over me, cataloging every detail. Or maybe you thought you could hide. Rich moves between us, shoulders squared. She doesn't owe you any explanations. I glance at him, worried. God, what have I done? I dragged him into this. He's not supposed to be on the Alpha's bad side. This is my mess. And she's not hiding here. He holds out a folder and tosses it onto the coffee table. Alpha Reginald lifts an eyebrow, unimpressed. He steps forward, picks up the folder, and flips through the papers with sharp, precise movements. It doesn't take long before he notices the bandage peeking from under my dress. His gaze narrows. Blood? He asks, tilting his head. Signs of a recent abortion. I must say, Miss Almira, I'm surprised you managed to find someone this private. Rich folds his arms, jaw tight. I'm Dr. Richard Hayes. I performed the abortion myself. I study Reginald's face. Please buy it. His lips curl in a mocking smile. A private doctor. How quaint. I suppose you weren't confident enough to use the best hospital in the country. He looks at me. Then show me the products of conception, he demands. My lips part. What? I mumble. He smirks. Show me the fetus. Rich's face flushes with anger. But before he can speak, I step in. Do you have any respect left for me? I snap, louder than I expect. His smugness falters for a beat. Excuse me, don't you have any respect for me or for what I went through? My voice shakes with heat. You trespassed in my house, threatened me to abort my child because you think I'm a taint to your bloodline, and now you're demanding proof, like my fetus is an object. Is this how you treat people? I don't know where the courage comes from. I just know I need it. For the first time, Alpha Reginald looks caught off guard. He straightens his tie and clears his throat. I see no reason to be emotional, Miss Almira. I simply wanted confirmation. You've got your confirmation, I say, nodding toward the folder. So leave us alone. He studies me for a long moment, lips pressed into a thin line. Then he turns on his heel and heads for the door. This will be the last time I disturb you, he says coolly. Goodbye, Miss Almira, doctor. The door closes. Silence swallows the room. I let out a shaky breath and sink onto the couch, my legs weak, my hands trembling. Rich sits beside me, anger still tight in his face. You okay? He asks softly. I'm okay. He rests a hand on my shoulder. You did well, Mira. Thank you, Rich, for everything. We're not done yet, he says, steady and firm. He meets my eyes. We'll run away together. Almira's Puve Ave. I sit on the couch with my phone pressed to my ear, biting my lip as I wait for the call to connect. No answer. Again, I sigh and stare at the screen like I can will them to call back. It's been weeks since my parents left for their so-called vacation. And they haven't checked in once. Where are they really? Why leave now, when I need them the most? Something about this doesn't sit right. They're not the type to just disappear. Especially not when I'm dealing with this. Footsteps approach. I glance up and see Rich walk in with a glass of orange juice and a sandwich balanced on a small plate. He's really thoughtful. He called me to eat earlier in the kitchen. But I refused. Now he's bringing the food to me here in the guest room. Such a good friend. Here, he says, setting them on the coffee table. You need to eat. I'm not hungry, I mutter, pushing the plate away. Who wouldn't lose their appetite when there are people who want to kill your child? I can't even sleep. I'm scared Alpha Reginald will find out those abortion papers were fake. I could never forgive myself if something happens to my baby. Rich crosses his arms and raises an eyebrow. That no nonsense. Look, he's perfected. Mira, you have to eat. You're not eating just for yourself now. Do it for the baby. That hits me. He's right. I shouldn't starve my baby. Everything you do affects the baby now, he adds, sliding the plate back to me. You can't skip meals because you're stressed. That's not how this works. Guilt pinches. at my chest. I set the phone beside me on the couch and reluctantly pick up the sandwich. I wasn't planning to eat everything, just a few bites maybe, but the first bite only makes me hungrier. I finish the sandwich in record time and glance at Rich, sheepish. Can I have another? Rich chuckles, shaking his head as he takes the empty plate. See? I told you. You're eating for two now. Want more juice while I'm at it? I nod, cheeks warm with embarrassment. I'm just glad I have someone like him to support me at this low point in my life. I wouldn't have made it this far without Rich. I glance at my phone, debating whether to try calling my parents again. I've lost count of how many calls they've missed from me. They must be really busy with business. Rich comes back with another sandwich, sets it down, and perches on the armrest of the couch. So, who were you trying to call earlier? My parents, I admit, picking up the sandwich again. Why? He asks, gently wiping a crumb from the corner of my mouth. Something wrong. I think they know something about what's happening to me. Since heat rushes to my cheeks, since Lysander. Rich's expression darkens at the name, but he doesn't say anything. He nods for me to go on. I've been feeling strange. I set the sandwich down. I know pregnancy comes with symptoms, but this feels different. My senses are sharper. I feel stronger, but also more tired, and I chew my lip. And Rich prompts, voice soft. I run a hand through my hair, and this. His eyes narrow. It turned silver after that night. Rich. I don't think that's a pregnancy symptom. He leans closer, studying my hair like it's a puzzle silver. He murmurs more to himself than to me. That's unusual. Unusual? It's downright terrifying. I snap, my voice rising. What if this is some kind of werewolf thing? What if it's because of Lysander? You mean wolf awakening? He cuts in. I freeze. But that only happens if you do it with your mate. Lysander's mate is Rochelle. I'm just some omega he met at the party. That's impossible. Rich straightens and gathers the dishes on the table. It could also be something else. Do you want me to check you out? Run some tests, just to be sure. I shake my head. I think my parents can give me answers. Is that why you're calling them? I nod. It's weird, They always call back. But this time, nothing. Maybe they're busy, he suggests. Busy, I scoff. They're in Italy on some mysterious vacation. My parents never go on vacations, Rich, ever. And now that I actually need them, they're impossible to reach. He offers me a comforting smile. Do you want me to try calling them? Sometimes a different number can do the trick. Beep, beep, beep. I almost drop the phone in my rush to answer. It's them, I blurt, swiping to accept. Mom, Dad. Mira, my mom's voice comes through, distant but clear. Relief loosens my shoulders. Sweetheart, are you okay? I've been trying to call you for days. I can't keep the frustration out of my voice. Where have you been? We've been busy, she says, vague as ever. I am so tired of that excuse. Busy with what? Half a world away. Busy doing what? I press, annoyance rising. What are you even doing in Italy? Rich's hand settles on my shoulder. A quiet reminder to breathe. I soften just a little. Maybe it's the hormones. I should calm down. Mira, my mom says carefully, is everything all right? You sound upset. Of course, I'm upset. They left without warning, called once, then vanished again for days. Who wouldn't be upset? I take a deep breath. I need to tell you something. Something that might actually shock you. Go ahead, she says. There's a nervous edge to her tone, and it's not because of me. She's hiding something. I can feel it. I'm pregnant, I blurt. Silence. Mom? Dad? My voice dips. Are you there? You're pregnant. This time, it's my dad. Yes, I admit. Cheeks burning though, they can't see me. It was a one-night stand. There's a scuffle on the other end. The sound of the phone being snatched. What did you say? My mom bursts out. Almira's, Pew Ave, Announcing an unexpected pregnancy this year wasn't part of my plans. I bite my lip, nervous. Dad always tells me to be careful with these things. We never know when my fated mate will show up. I don't know. It's what they've told me my whole life. Wait for my mate. Well, that was before Liam betrayed me. I really thought he was the one. I don't even want to believe in love at this point. Almira, my mom cuts in, using my full name, which just makes it worse. Does Liam know you're pregnant? Rich and I glance at each other. He's not the father. What do you mean? He's not the father, Almira. I hesitate, flicking a glance at Rich, watching me closely. It's Lysander Hitwell. Another heavy silence fills the line. I chew my lip. I don't need to explain who Lysander is. His surname alone says enough. The Alpha, my dad asks. I heave a deep sigh. Yes. My stomach twists now that I've said it out loud. But that's not the point. The point is, something's wrong with me. What do you mean, wrong? My mom asks quickly, like she's already bracing for it. I mean, I'm changing, I confess, my voice trembling. My senses are sharper. I feel different. And my hair is literally turning silver. Is that a pregnancy thing, or is it because of him? Silence. So complete. I think they've hung up. Mom? Dad? Panic rises in my throat. Do you know something about this? Can you tell me why this is happening to me? Rich's hand settles on my shoulder. Steady, warm, trying to ground me. Almira, my mom says at last, urgency slipping into her tone. You need to come to Italy right away. What? I blurt, thrown. Why, what's in Italy? We'll explain everything when you get here, she says, ignoring the question. It's important, Almira. You have to know the truth about who you really are. Who I really am, I echo. What does that even mean? What are they talking about? Just come, my dad says firmly. Please, Almira, trust us. The call ends before I can ask anything else. I lower the phone slowly, staring at it like it might explode. They want me to come to Italy. What happened? Rich asks as soon as he realizes I'm done. They want me to go to Italy, I say numbly. Why? I shake my head, still trying to process. They said I need to know the truth about who I am. Rich frowns. That's vague. Do you think it has something to do with the baby? Or Lysander, I add. I noticed the shift in their tone. When I mentioned his name, let me go with you. My eyes widen. But you have a life here, Rich. You can't just leave everything to come with me. I'll be fine. My parents are He presses a finger to his lips. I am coming with you, Mira. Dake, Lysander's POV. The papers crumple in my grip, but I can't look away. Bold letters, successful abortion. And the names. They burn themselves into my mind. Almira, her name is right there, clear as day. I told you, my father sneers from across the room. The woman you're so hung up on isn't worth your time. She's nothing. She took the money and aborted your child. She's not fit to stand beside you, Lysander. I don't look up. My heart hammers. My mind races. This can't be real. It doesn't make sense. She was pregnant and she didn't even tell me. How could she? You expect me to believe this. The uncertainty in my voice gives me away. The truth is, I don't know what to believe anymore. I was at fault for pushing her away, but this, unforgivable. How could she not tell me about this? Father steps closer, hands clasped behind his back, like this is just another business transaction. Believe what you want. The evidence is right there. She's out of the picture, Lysander. She made her choice. Now it's time for you to make yours. I glance up at him. He planned this. I know it. And what's that supposed to mean? He sighs like he's dealing with a stubborn child. You're marrying Rochelle. It's already been announced. The arrangements are being finalized. Stop fighting this and start thinking about the future of the pack. I let out a bitter laugh and tossed the papers onto the desk. Oh, right. The future of the pack. My future doesn't matter, does it? Just yours. You're the future alpha, he snaps, voice booming. You don't get the luxury of choice. You never did. You should have known that the moment you took your first breath. My fists clench at my sides. It's not like I asked to be born this way. So that's it. I'm just a puppet who does what you want. Someone to be used for alliances and deals. You're a leader, he says coldly, and leaders don't waste their time on weak, selfish women who sell out their own children. You should prioritize your people and the pack. I flinch. How can he talk about serving our people while he's relieved my unborn child is gone? He's glad because now he can marry me off like a puppy. You don't know her, I say through gritted teeth. And you do. He scoffs, flicking a hand at the papers. You had one night with her, one, and you think she's worthy of being your mate, of being Luna. Look at her, she's already proven she's not. My stomach twists. I can't stop staring at the signature at the bottom of the document. It's really her. Where did you get these? I demand. He could have fabricated this. He could have. This isn't the point, he says smoothly. What matters is that you stop this foolish obsession. She's gone. You have responsibilities. Rochelle is perfect for you. She's strong, capable. She's manipulative. I cut in, glaring. And I don't love her. This isn't about love, he roars, slamming his fist on the desk. This is about duty, about power, about the survival of this pack. I shake my head. If that's all you care about, then maybe you should have been the one to marry her. His eyes narrow dangerously, but I don't back down. I'm done letting him dictate my life. I felt what it could be once, and I can't just let that go. He straightens, smoothing his jacket like he hasn't just tried to rip my world apart. You'll come to your senses, he says, turning toward the door. You always do. But don't think for a second I'll let you ruin this pack over some Omega who doesn't even want to be part of your life. My hands curl into fists. He pauses at the doorway, smirking back at me. Oh, and keep those papers. Consider them a reality check. When the door clicks shut, I sink into my chair and drag a hand through my hair. My mind is spinning. Is it true? Did Almira really... I snatch the papers again, scanning for anything, any detail that might make this a sick trick. Her name, her signature, plain as day. It doesn't feel right. Something doesn't add up. There's only one way to know. I'll find her myself, and she can say everything written on this paper to my face.